What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Gear Chronicles on TUGGtv. So this is a follow-up video to a video I made some time ago, which basically reviewed this Jackson JS227. I have now owned it for about 2 years, so this essentially is going to be a 2-year ownership review. So I bought this guitar back in 2018. I had made some upgrades at the time. I've made a few more now. And the objective of this video is to sort of discuss how my experience has been with this guitar over the 2 years that I've owned it for, and what are some of the things you should sort of expect and know in case you choose to go ahead and buy one. First time on this channel, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button along with the bell icon for all the updates from us. To start with, let's hear a little sample of what this guitar sounds like in a mix. Okay, thumbs up if you like that. That song is originally by band Black Crown Initiate. Great band, I really love them. Of course, this was a more shortened version of it. Now, there are a lot of things I already discussed. One of them, of course, was the Black Winter pickups. So I'm not going to really talk about that a lot. I will, however, let you know what I think about them and how I've been using them over the course of the years. The additional major upgrades that I've done to the guitar right now, firstly, the bridge. So when I had done the review previously, I had just sort of changed the saddles and I had the stock bridge on because I wasn't very confident of drilling into this. This time around, I went ahead and had the Hipshot bridge sort of drilled in. I didn't do this myself. I took the help of Vishnu Kumar, who works for Fine Tune Musicals, and he's also worked with Reynolds, and he's a great guy. Did a really fine job in terms of drilling the holes and all of that. So what I had to do is I moved the bridge a little up to accommodate the new holes. But it wasn't a problem because I could move the saddles back, and I still have managed to maintain the 26.5-inch scale. Vishnu is linked in the description, so in case you're planning to get any work done on your guitar, be sure to hit him up. Also, I must say it does work better than just having the saddles on, because when I had just these saddles on at the time, they are a little sharp on the edges, so every time I played it sort of did cut me. I kind of got used to it, but nevertheless it was a little bit annoying. Having said that, it works wonders on, the bridge set that it comes with. Tonally, not an awful lot of difference, at least not something I can pick up on. But hey, since I had it, I thought why not? Intonation is definitely slightly better. And one thing I have to highlight is if you plan to change the bridge or do any drill work on this guitar, it is a slightly soft wood. So be very, very careful with any drilling that you're doing. In fact, I would suggest you use a hand drill like Vishnu had used. The next major upgrade that I have done now are the tuners. So this guitar now is equipped with Hipshot locking tuners, and I must say this was eventually a much needed upgrade. In my previous video, I did mention that the stock tuners were alright at the time. However, when I made that video, this guitar was roughly about 8-ish months old, and the problems with the tuners did start around about the 1 year mark. So as soon as this guitar was 1 year old, they started fading, and they started fading really fast. If you are someone like me who tunes up and down a lot, your tuners are going to give way, and one thing you're going to observe is, firstly, it doesn't hold tune very well. You're going to have issues with stability, and one thing you will observe is when you are playing, the strings will feel floppier than they actually are. It's like you might have a 10 or an 11 gauge of strings on it, but you might feel like you're playing a 9. I didn't have to do any drill work for this because, like I mentioned, the wood is kind of soft, and the screws that came with this tuner were quite sharp. So you just sort of have to align it and gently keep turning the screws, and they eventually just went into the wood. Next up, of course, sticker. It's a biohazard sticker because I had it. Next up, of course, is this Schaller style strap lock. And this is not just on this guitar. I have now put it on all my guitars, so that way I just set my guitar strap the way I want, and then I can very easily remove it and strap it onto the other guitars. Now about the Black Winters, I did mention that they are a great set of pickups in my previous video, and I still think they are. However, after owning this for a while, what I will say is they are very, very dynamic and a very hot set of pickups. Which means if you want to get the best out of this, I would recommend that you get them to behave with proper EQing and patchwork. I've personally noticed it works best when you go ahead and dial away everything around the 20 kHz and dial away, the 10s so that your bass can go ahead and breathe there. Then I noticed that while it is a sort of very wide sounding pickup, it is a little mid heavy. So what I would do is I'd go ahead and scoop out the mids by a very, very little bit, by a couple of dBs, and then I'd get the tone that I want. Now that works if I'm playing, proggy stuff and all of that, but if I'm doing extreme metal, I'd probably scoop out a couple more dBs to get that extreme metal tone. The split coils are still very much there. Cool to have, nice to have, not a need to have. So if you want to go ahead and do this, you can do it with the Black Winters, but keep in mind when you do split the coils, it is a little bit noisy. So in summary, what do I think about this guitar? I still think it is a great guitar and one of the best 7 strings that you can own at this price point. It is a very, very customizable guitar, a fairly ergonomic one as well, and pretty light. The wood is a little bit soft, so if you're doing any drill work, make sure that you're very, very careful with it. Stock bridge is alright, but it can do with an upgrade. Stock pickups are slightly on the muddy side in my opinion. They're okay if you're just about bedroom jamming, but then again, it can do with an upgrade. The stock tuners, of course, as mentioned, will give out in 2 years of time. So you might feel that it's okay, but eventually, at least in my experience, after the first year, it starts fading, and from then on, it is a downhill slope really, really fast. In my opinion, I would say definitely go ahead and upgrade the tuners as soon as possible, especially if you're someone who's tuning up and down a lot. And with that, I come to the end of this 2-year ownership review. What did you think about this guitar? Do you own a JS227? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to us for more content. And until next time, this is TUGGtv signing off. I will catch you in the next one. Stay metal.